Cows and most animals are very sensitive, so they actually know when they're not wanted, when they're rejected, when they're being used. Most of the cows we rescue come in not trusting human beings, very defensive, very angry. They're like us. Overall, it's lovely to see how they start to fruit into lovely, gentle beings, which they are. There was a lot of suffering, and it really touched me how these animals struggle to survive. So we set up the NGO. When I started this sanctuary, I thought I would concentrate more on the dogs, but very soon I realized about the cows and all the other animals that needed help as well. It's actually when I came here and set up the sanctuary and started dealing with all these animals, I became vegan slowly. We have a history of cattle care, cattle knowledge in India, which goes back 5,000 years. And what's happened now is due to development, unfortunately greed, things have changed now. So there's a lot of stray cattle on the streets. Once they have the baby, the farmer would just milk the mother and then leave them on the streets for the whole day to find their own food. Unfortunately, in Goa, for such a small state, the situation for the cattle is very dire. There's estimated of more than 10,000 stray cattle. So usually we get rescue calls for accidents on the street, or a mother giving birth, having difficulty. And a lot of people ask us, well, are these cattle owned? Are they strays? So what's the story? So basically, I think more than 60% would be stray cattle that are just left to wander, and the other 40% would be owned. And this is where a lot of the solution can be found, is to actually get owned cattle owners, farmers, to be more responsible for their cows and not let them wander the streets. Cows and most animals are very sensitive, so they actually know when they're not wanted, when they're rejected, when they're being used. So it's very sad. And most of the cows we rescue come in not trusting human beings, very defensive, very angry. They're like us, some are good-natured, some are good mothers, some are bad mothers. But overall, it's lovely to see how they start to fruit into lovely, gentle beings, which they are. And once given the chance to look after their babies, that how beautifully they really care for their young. There are schemes that have been provided by the government, solutions that have been provided by the government, but when it comes to ground level, not much is done usually. But for the government itself, more could be done. There are many people who are not aware of what is going on in the dairy industry. And unfortunately, there's a lot who are aware and choose to look the other way. So most dairy cows, when they're not productive, are actually sent for slaughter. So the connection is very close. And to whoever consumes beef or consumes dairy products, you're directly responsible for all this suffering. As we all know, there's a lot of illegal slaughter going on. Meat and dairy industries are very powerful. In many countries, they actually, rule the political parties. So even in the West, I was raised in the UK. Every time on the news item, there's something about a farm, farmed animals, you'll see a lovely photo of a mother cow, licking her baby. And the reality is not that. And it's the same in India. We're shown a rural scene with somebody carrying some hay with cows. That does exist, but again, mostly not. So unfortunately, people don't realize what happens and they're not open to it, but I think slowly we will get there. And actually, there is a huge myth in India, all over the world, that vegan food is more expensive than non-veg or meat. That is complete nonsense. Yeah, we often have this dilemma, about favoring different species for animal welfare. Even a very difficult question about feeding your dogs and cats non-veg. And I would just request people to be aware of what they're doing, because helping cats and dogs and not helping cows and goats is not very intelligent, and actually shows, that this is how we're educated when we're young. So I would request people not to be brainwashed, think out of the box, and you'll find that, the world will be a better place. And until we stop abusing animals, there will never be peace on earth.